Oh boy, I'm a bit beat right now. Not only is this year over, and what a year it's been, better or for worse for many people. I also just finished my games, the best slash didn't playlist of 2024 just like a couple minutes ago. I've been talking for nearly 3 hours. I'm tired. I want a snack. I want to rest. But I have to do this now, or else I'm probably not going to get it done before after Christmas. This is the New Year's newsletter that I annually do. Update you on all the stuff we did this year, channel whatevers. Uh, we've got some things to talk about. Namely, I got a new computer. Hal is retired. I don't think you can see him. He's right here. He gave up. He died, unfortunately. 15 years. No, it was 15 years? Close to 15 years. I think. Started in 2010. 15 years. About 15 years. Hal gave his circuit board life to us. The motherboard died again. And after that point, I could have upgraded him, but there was some tech problems that I couldn't fix with just upgrades. So I had to get a completely new computer, one you're technically sitting on right now. Say hello to Clarice. She is an Omen 40L. She is a pre-built gaming computer that actually had some really good specs on both the gaming and the video editing, which is what I was looking for. So far, she has been a joy to work with. She has her own little quirks. There's some weird slowy down slow-mo things that happen every once in a while. I don't know if it's a memory leak or some kind of electrical problem. I really don't know, but it's par for the course now for me and tech problems on the channel. So Clarice, I called her Clarice, by the way, because she has a pure plexiglass side, so you can see through her. It's clear. So Clarice, also movie reference, because Hal from Space Odyssey, Clarice from Silence of the Lamb. She is fitting in well. She's doing a great job. I've noticed a huge difference on gaming visuals and performance, so hopefully she lasts, if not 10 years like Hal. I will be happy, and if I can upgrade her when that all happens at the end, we'll see how that goes. But that's the tech updates for me. Let's actually get into the YouTube and Twitch stuff, because we did quite a bit of things. The channel didn't grow much, but I think we did a good amount. This was the year of catching up, and I think from now on I'm going to change up how I do things. But let's get into it. Let's talk about what we got to this year. Alright, starting off with YouTube. Got the crib notes here. We've got the subscriber count. It has been pretty much the same, I think, all year round. About 336, 338. Or no, yeah, between around there, 37, 38, whatever. It's fluctuated a bit here and there, but it hasn't really gone up. I think majority of the reason is because of what I was uploading this year. It was just Baldur's Gate. It was just Elden Ring. There were a few Flash players here and there around the beginning and towards October, but generally speaking, it was just those two series. And I can understand why the channel didn't grow from that. Like, it is the same content over and over again. I like to say I'm a variety streamer, but the year was very stagnant. And honestly, for many reasons. But let's get into the first one, Elden Ring, and how I finished it, the Let's Play itself. And then also we did Shadow of the Erdtree. But there's an elephant in the room. That is why I also started with Clarice here. So while I was changing computers, I took the hard drives from Hal and I put them into Clarice. I did some updating, all that kind of stuff. In the move, the raw videos that I had recorded from when I was streaming got a little bit fucked. And by fucked, I mean I accidentally deleted them and I couldn't get them back. So I had to take the stream archives that I have, the uncut versions of, and use them as the cut versions of the final bits of the Let's Play. And you can tell, it was so unfortunate that you could tell the bitrate was ick, the sound was not properly leveled, it was not the best, and it's all on me, because I had procrastinated throughout so much time, even before Hal broke. I had not put that out. That was a huge, huge thing on me, and how that all transpired, and it shows because the end result of the end was gritty, and it didn't sound great. My level of sound, and the game's level of sound, and there were some good moments in the end bit, right? Like Suplex City, that episode, not only terrific title, terrific boss fight, all that stuff, such a shame that it didn't get the proper sound leveling stuff that it deserved. So I 100% take that as a responsibility on me, and it is going to be a badge of shame forever, because that's how the Let's Play ended. But we ended it, finally, because Shadow of the Erdtree came out. It's DLC, and while I did kind of change up how I was recording and editing that, it stayed mostly the same, and we had the same-ish problems. But I was able to at least stay on top of the editing because I had cut back on my stream scheduling and all that stuff. So I was able to at least finish the edits. We had some pretty long episodes, and I think that's mostly because I didn't die a lot in certain areas, so there was big one-takes that I didn't need to worry about, but there was some big moments that needed that time to just be the episode, and if I cut it too early or too late, it would have kind of ruined that moment. So that's why some of the more later Erdtree episodes are a bit long, and why also some of the Baldur's Gate episodes towards the end of the series got long as well. They had to just, like, the moment needed to be the episode. And moving on then from finishing Erdtree to Baldur's Gate, we flip-flopped a lot this year with Baldur's Gate 3. It was Elden Ring, then some Baldur's Gate, and then Erdtree, and then finishing up Baldur's Gate. In fact, I think just today I uploaded the last episode, the epilogue episode of Baldur's Gate 3. And it was a hell of a journey. I think I did talk about it. I did put it in my best games of 2023. It would have been a huge oversight if I completely forgot that I have put Baldur's Gate on the best. I think it was last year, though. I must have. I had to have had, right? I've also been going back through the list and making a master list, because I have forgotten tons of things that I talked about in those, and I was actually curious to be like, oh, you know what, let me go back and check what the top games of those years were. So I'm making a master list for reference of next year and whatnot. But yeah, no, we did a lot of Elden Ring, we did a lot of Baldur's Gate 3, and next year we're gonna switch some things up. I've already got some things lined up and what I want to do. I have some ideas on how we're going to change up some things. Hopefully certain other games release that I want to play, like Alan Wake 2. I'm hoping that comes out next year. I have another CRPG lined up, but I think I'm going to wait until like a few more months pass by. I think I'm not going to start that until another shorter Let's Play or two come out, so that the Baldur's Gate people that are watching that can at least either catch up or feel satiated with that and move on to the next thing and have a gap in between, because like I said, we got a little stagnant this year. And while I'm happy the Let's Plays came out, I really did need to vary things up. And I think I have some ideas for next year to do that, but we'll see how it all plays out. However, that's not the only Let's Play I put out. Surprisingly, when I went through my, check back log of what was released this year, there was a Let's Play that was posted. It was a new thing. Actually, well, it's an old thing that was in a new package that I was very excited to play. It was the Submachine Legacy Collection. If you are not familiar with the Submachine series, it is a browser puzzle point-and-click game that honestly was a very big influence on my childhood and growing up with browser games. And I felt because I do like the Flash Player stuff, or when I get to do the Flash Player stuff, I owed it to Submachine at all to... That was my phone buzzing. I owed it to Submachine to actually play that and do the Legacy game. And I was not disappointed. There was the old games that I remembered, and there was some ones that I hadn't played before, and then some new stuff. It was really good. If you are interested in, like, old school point-and-click, and I mean old school point-and-click puzzle games, the Submachine Legacy is a great title to check out. And the Let's Play, while it has some very long episodes towards the end, again, I did it in single game versions. Each episode was a game. It's really good. So the art style is amazing. Art style, hands down, is one of the best art styles in any game. Any browser or whatever game. So yeah, that was another Let's Play that got done that I think was more towards the beginning of the year, and then yeah, it didn't quite land towards the middle. Again, stagnation, we're gonna work on that, but that's the other Let's Play that we put out this year that I thought actually went really, really well. However, other than YouTube, we have our Twitch to talk about, and unlike again, stagnation, I gotta stop saying it, but other than the YouTube stagnation, we did actually do a lot more stuff on Twitch. More variety on there, though there are some lulls here and there more towards the current time period. I did a lot of stuff. Here, let me check my list. Almost double what I have written down on my YouTube stuff. So let's get into it. The first thing I have written down is the Talos Principle DLC. I decided that... Well, okay. The original time I played the Talos Principle years back. Years and years back. Still archived on my Twitch channel. It was free on the Epic Store. Actually, the whole reason I downloaded the Epic Store launcher was because Talos Principle was free there. Because, I mean, we've talked about it in the best of games list previous video to this. I love good puzzle games, especially like environmental logic stuff. Great. And Talos Principle was something that had my eye, but the graphics were a bit dated, and I was like hesitant. So when it said, hey, get it for free, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And since then, I have been collecting tons and tons of free games that I am so happy I did. So that kind of trickled into there. But the one thing I don't do on Epic Store is actually buy things, unfortunately, for Epic Store or whatnot. However, I really, really wanted to play the Talos Principles DLC. So I actually bought it on Steam along with the DLC. And it did not disappoint. And I streamed the DLC. It's archived again, still on Twitch. It was really, really good. And I just picked up recently, because of the winter sale, Talos Principle 2. So expect that to be streamed not nearly soon enough, but pretty soon in coming year. I'm definitely going to be checking that one out and playing through that and adding more to the puzzle stuff. So yes, we did that if you are interested in puzzle games in general. And to that, the thing underneath it here is Escape Academy. Again, free shit on Epic. It's worth checking out. I've got quite the library collected now. Escape Academy was more of an escape room type puzzle game. And it's another title that I had my eye on, but I'm not 100% more into escape room titles. I am now. Like Escape Academy and some of the other stuff that I've checked out and want to do. I think it was Mistwood Mansion of last year. I'm a bit more into the escape room type puzzle games, and there's a couple new ones on the list that I have on my wish list that I'm taking an eye on and keeping the finger on the pulse and seeing how those are going to be. So yay future for them. But Escape Academy was really, really good. It wasn't perfect. I'm not too keen on having timers on my puzzle games. I like to be able to, breathe. But this and some of the room games, I think were really, really good. I like the structure and how Escape Academy was. And again, if you want to see it played, go to the Stream Archive. I don't know. No, I don't think I archived it on YouTube. I'm thinking of putting up a second YouTube channel just for Twitch archives, but I need to figure out the logistics of that before I really commit. So maybe we'll have a big migration of all of that stuff over there. It'll be notified, and I'll post things when it does. But that happened, and if you want to check it out, you can go check it out right now. This next little bit is going to be nice and quick. On top of all the puzzle games we just talked about, I will talk about Island of Insight. More specifically, if you haven't seen my best of / didn't playlist, I talk a lot about it there. So I'm going to briefly go over that we did Island of Insight, and it's archived again on Twitch. That was an amazing game, an amazing puzzle title, and highly, highly recommend checking that game out. And if you're interested, absolutely go check out the archived stuff, as I keep saying. So yeah, that also was a great puzzle game that I probably could have talked about with the other puzzles, but I took about minute break to grab water, so that's why there was a cut there. I just realized the lighting in the room was changing, and I've been at this for almost 3.5 hours now. I realized that the lighting has changed, and honestly, I mean, these never were good to look at videos. I'll be very honest with you. I know that the best way to watch these are in the background just listening, but still, I at least try to make them look as best as I can with the webcam I still own. Right. Moving on to the next thing. This one I did buy. It was cheap. It was on sale cheap. It was Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I, as you know, am a big Borderlands fan. I have a huge series of the Borderlands 2 and 3 on Twitch archived. I think it's also on YouTube as well. I streamed those, I talked about them and why they're good, why there's problems, all that kind of stuff. And Tina's Wonderland here is the actual game version of one of the best DLCs in all time, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep. I have been wanting to check this title out for a very long time. Unfortunately, I did not hear great things about it. So that's why it's been on the back burner and just kind of there, but not in my purview. But I had a little, it dropped to a very reasonable-esque price, because it's actually a little expensive for what it is, I'll be very honest. And I'm like, you know what, let's pick it up, let's stream it, let's figure it out. And for the most part, I enjoyed it. The first third of the game is a bit rough to get through, but once the meta-narrative kicked in and the actual guns got more better, if that makes sense, the game actually really picked up, and it was it got very good. It's got the same mechanics and playstyle as Borderlands 3, which is very good. Like I kept saying in Borderlands 3, it is the best playing Borderlands game. But, again, the narrative didn't really kick in, and the guns didn't feel quite right until the first third finished. So I can see why people had problems with it, but I did enjoy it. And we go through a lot of trials and tribulations. There is a point in that playthrough, right before we get to the good stuff, I was really considering stopping. But I'm glad I pushed on, and I actually did really enjoy the ending of that game. Though, you will notice if you watch the Let's Play through the streamed archive, where I start to really dip in my excitement. It's very apparent. And now we move on to the month of October. This was a very interesting October for me because I had actually planned to do a Minecraft thing for a very long time. I play a lot of Minecraft mod packs and whatnot, have been for years and years, because the vanilla-ish game of Minecraft, while fun, gets, repetitive, and that creative spirit in the back of my head kind of dies and is no longer existent in my soul as it used to be. But when I came across the Fear Nightfall, I had to check it because there's a few versions of this that... when I came across the Fear Nightfall mod pack, I thought, you know what? This looks really good, and it has the right structure that I'm looking for in a mod pack that I did back when I did my original month of Minecraft. If you remember that, back in the day, I did the Sevtech mod pack that I still really, really enjoy. And I think that Let's Play, or streamed Let's Play, went over very, very well. It's still fun. I still think back to it fondly. And I wanted to do a new month of Minecraft, but because of how a lot of other mod packs are structured, it's more of a shotgun approach, a random smattering of achievements and goals. I wanted something a bit more streamlined, like Sevtech. So, when I came across the Fear Nightfall pack, it looked very structured. It looked like what I was looking for. And there's a few other mod packs I've found that have the same vibe, but it was getting close to October, and I was like, you know what? I bet I can pull this off. So, we started off the month, a new month of Minecraft, Spooky Edition, and it started well. I will say, the first couple streams of that game went very well, but I soon realized that the structure was a lie, and there were missed opportunities and things that didn't quite line up, both in how you were supposed to play the game versus how the quest lines were lining up, and it just fell apart. And towards the end, I just gave up. I enjoyed it up to the point, and there are still really nice things. I think it would fit better as a multiplayer thing rather than a single player. But I stopped playing that so quickly. And yeah, I got so frustrated with that, and it was such a shame. I want to do more months of Minecraft, because it's been so long, but this one just fell flat, and I was so disappointed on how it did. The mod pack is still good, and I think it's had some updates and changes, but I'm not going back to it. If anything, I'm going to find something new. There are some things that I have found that could work, but they're still a bit early. I thought this was going to be more filled out, flushed out, but it was all not true. We're not done, though, with our October season just yet. We have the big October scary game we have to talk about, Callisto Protocol. And I say big, scary game, it wasn't that scary. And while it was big, it wasn't that interesting. Yeah, I remember back when Callisto Protocol was being shown and having the same devs, I believe, as Dead Cells. No, not Dead Cells. I think I did the same mistake when I was talking about this the last time in some point. Dead Space. It had the same devs as Dead Space. It had the same creativeness as Dead Space. I'm tired, okay? I've been at this for a long time and I want to snack and lie down and I still need to put the dishes away and laundry and oh my god, I still have so much to do today. Dead Space is widely renowned as one of the best survival horror space games ever, along with its sequel, and not quite the third, but it was still okay. So when Callisto Protocol was announced and shown and all that kind of stuff, everybody was so hyped. But then it came out, and people were middling and disappointed. Now, I have never played Dead Space before, but, again, Epic Store freebies. Hey, we're going to take it and we're going to check it out. And as someone who's never played Dead Space, I thought, oh, maybe it's because they had that expectation going into it. I don't have that expectation. Kind of like how when I played Skyrim for the first time, it was the first time playing Skyrim. So I have a very unique point of view that other people that did play the game going into it, where I didn't. Unfortunately, as going through the game, it wasn't the perspective that was wrong. The game itself was flawed. It wasn't a bad game. I'm gonna say this the entire time, and I continue to repeat my sentiment. It's not a bad game, but it's a bit unoriginal and boring, and it doesn't do enough with the material it used. And I mean, for the October game, it was fine, but I probably could have played something better. It was a good 6 out of 10. And that's not a bad thing, but I can see why people were disappointed. It was so-so. And if you want to check it out, it's archived, actually on YouTube now. I enjoyed playing through it. The last bit got very frustrating, but if you want to check it out, watch the playthrough. I actually think it was a good playthrough. I thought I was being really funny at times. It wasn't scary, so I was able to joke around a lot more than I usually would have been able to. So I think that if you want something a little fun and silly, go check the Let's Play out. But honestly, I would skip Callisto Protocol. Just in general, it was fine, but I wouldn't recommend it to people. Finally, we have something a bit different that I did, and I hope if it's taken aback and it's enjoyed enough, I have some other plans on making some adaptations about it throughout the next year. So keep this in mind. And do tell me if you are interested in whatnot. I got back into Dead by Daylight this year. Like, heavily. There were a couple months where there was only Dead by Daylight being played on both just my free time and sometimes on Steam. And during, the final bits of October, they had their event, and I kept doing that. But because I had spent so much time in there, I had acquired pretty much all of the killers, and I enjoy playing pretty much all of them, mostly all of them. There are a few that I don't like. I got a weird fixation. And I thought, you know what? Let's do some writing. I put together, and I'm still putting together, technically, a Dead by Daylight guide for beginner killers. I will, if I remember it, link it in the description below. You can go and check it out. It's still a work in progress because what I was doing was playing Dead by Daylight, a specific character of that time, and kind of figuring out how it worked and kind of talking about how best to play it, best not to, or kind of little eccentricities about the characters. And then we went over to the writing portion, and I typed up the guide for the character. And it kind of went back and forth. It was a little long at times, a little dull in certain points, but I really enjoyed it. I finished currently, as of recording this now, the first 5 basic killers, and I'm going to be doing more streaming of Dead by Daylight and writing and finishing the guide. You can actually see the archived guide both on my Twitch thing, both on Twitch archived and YouTube. I actually am going to have a new playlist for it. So we're going to be getting more Dead by Daylight content, which I don't typically do on the channel, but it actually does okay. So we'll see how that turns out. But the real thing that I'm highlighting here is the writing aspect. Because you might not think it, I enjoy writing. I am a bit of a wordsmith, or I try to be a bit of a wordsmith when it comes to describing things and reviewing things and whatnot. Maybe you noticed it when we finish a game and I start trying to convey my feelings. But this year in particular, I got in my head, I don't know if it was a hyperfixation or whatnot, but I still have the urge to do more writing. Not just the guide, but actually a screenplay. When the Borderlands movie came out, I didn't watch it. I didn't want to give that shit my money. But when it came out and it got bombed in the box office and everyone hated, I thought to myself, well, what would make a good Borderlands movie? And I started thinking. And I think I actually came up with a pretty good one. I haven't written any of it down, but that's where this part comes in. I want to know if you want to watch me write a screenplay. I have not just Borderlands. I also have a Dead by Daylight movie concept kind of worked on, kind of a mishmash of another horror thing that I had thought of. But I want to know, do you want to watch me write? Because if you're interested, if you're interested in the concept, go check out the Dead by Daylight how-to guide playlist, because that has a decent enough feel about how that might go. I really want to try it. Something new, because, I mean, I love what I do here on the channel, but I've been doing it for a while and it hasn't really taken off. So maybe changing the dynamic up just a little bit, doing something different, and maybe if I do have a screenplay of something, it could be sold to make a movie. Doubtful at best, but, I mean, you gotta try, right? That's why I started the channel. You gotta try! And fail spectacularly. But what do you think? If you're interested, go check out the Dead by Daylight stuff. Go tell me, like, in the comment section what you might want to see me write about. Maybe I'll have some other creative ideas. For now, it's just these few things, but I could come up with some new titles. I'm thinking that what would happen would be I would be writing this, and then I'd get some feedback off of chat, or if there was chat. Let's be honest, I don't get a lot of viewers and people talking to me when I stream. But if I did and I have some feedback, it would be a very interesting creative process. I'd be very interested to know what your opinions on that. So please comment down below, check out the stuff, and see if you actually want to watch me do more of that. I'm going to do more of that, but I want to see in what capacity as we move on to next year. And that's it. That's what we accomplished this year. It wasn't a lot, but I think it was pretty good. We finally finished Elden Ring and its DLC. Yay. We've wrapped up Baldur's Gate, finally. Now we get to move on to new stuff. I've already got some things in mind. I've got some streaming stuff that I want to play. There's some games that I think I could do as Let's Plays, but also I want to see it streamed. I don't know which place it will go, but I've got ideas. And hopefully next year, in the coming months, you watch the new stuff. Please tell me. I always want to play more Flash Player and do more highlighting of Flash and HTML browser games. Hopefully with the stream schedule that is now, which is streaming 11 EST Thursday, Friday, I get the chance to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday record some Flash Player, record some other stuff. I think the next time I do certain Let's Plays, I'm not going to stream and then cut it down. I think I'm just going to make the Let's Play like I used to and just record the videos, then edit them, then do more stuff, and then have a steady upload instead of what we did with Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate, where I streamed them for ungodly amounts of hours and had to just cut them up after. I think that's the direction I'm going to take with the YouTube channel, and then Twitch in itself, we've got some new possibilities. There's a few games. I mean, I mentioned Talos Principle 2. That's going to come up streaming. I've got a couple interesting titles that I'm not sure I'm going to keep playing, but I want to at least try out. There's the writing stuff, like I said, that could be a very interesting thing. I've got some interesting ideas. So while this was the year of lackadaisicalness and melancholy and ramp-ups, next year is going to be the year of new. I want to try stuff, I want to see how it goes, and hopefully you're along for the ride as well. So, if you have watched this video to its finale, thank you very much. And if you've been staying with me and watching since the beginning, holy shit, why are you here? You know this has been a train wreck for years now. Thank you so much. I know I say it, and it feels like I need to say it when these kinds of things wrap up, but I do mean it. Thank you very much to the people who are watching, who are subscribing, who do comment from time to time. I do read them. I do read all of this, and even if I don't reply, I do read them. So if you enjoyed it and you aren't subscribed, please follow me here on my follow me on my Twitch. I usually do the reverse of that because that's what I always do. No, follow me here and subscribe to my YouTube. There are tons of other things. Like I said, variety streamer here and variety content creator. If you're not interested in one Let's Play, there's probably another one in the playlists that you will see and enjoy. So give it a shot and just take a look and comment on what you do like, and maybe I'll start veering into certain other things. It's an open book and an open road, honestly. And also, go check out my Twitch. Go follow me there. Like I said, streaming Thursday and Friday. I try and do some fun stuff. If you're there, please comment and say hi, that you watched this and you're interested in other things that I do. We'll see how it all goes. I think we're going to take a bit more of a chill vibe for the next year, even though we're doing more new stuff. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an interesting couple months and experimenting. It should be fun. So, yeah, hopefully you stick around and watch, and you know what? Whatever next year and the years after brings, because Lord knows we've had some interesting previous years. Whatever happens, I want you all to have a happy holidays, a good New Year's, and hopefully somehow next year we're able to make it through. And yeah, just be well, enjoy yourself, have fun, do you. I'm gonna get a snack now because I am fucking famished and exhausted. I think I'm gonna have a cookie. Cookie sounds real good right now.